Miami. What's up, party people? I'm super excited to be with you today and to share with you this afternoon. By show of hands, I want to see how many folks here are already published authors. Raise your hand. Got a couple, so you could look around the room, just a couple. Now, raise your hand if you've been considering authoring a book to help grow your business. Raise your hand. Great. Now, last question. By show of hands, how many folks never really thought about how a book can grow a business, and you're curious to see why and how? Raise your hand. Excellent. Well, I'm going to start off by having you imagine something. Imagine holding your book with your name on it because you authored this book. It's a bestseller, and the title literally tells the world who you are and what you're about. Now, this book helps you unlock infinite opportunities in your business. You get podcast, television, and radio hosts to call you up because they want you to be a guest because you're a subject matter expert. It gets event producers to beg you to give a keynote on their stage. And most importantly, it gets your phone ringing off the hook. I'm dating myself, right? Gets your phone ringing off the hook with clients that are begging to hire you and work with your company. And of course, they're ready to pay premium fees because you literally wrote the book on the subject. What that means to you is, I know you don't see much rain here in Miami, but you just made it rain in your business, right? That's what I want you to imagine. Now, imagine this. Imagine never ever getting this book done. For whatever reason, whatever excuse, you didn't prioritize it whatsoever and you didn't get the book done. Now, what would you miss out on? That's what I'm going to share with you today. So by the end of our short time this afternoon together, I'm going to share with you, and you're going to feel at the end of this talk, you're going to think, why the heck have I not got my book done yet? What have I been waiting for? What excuses did I have? And I'm going to give you exactly what you need to know to get the perfect client attracting book. Does that sound like a good promise? All right, you guys ready? Let's get started. What I'm going to share with you is how an 8-figure business was built around the book. And this is a live case study, and I'm going to share that with you. Who this is for? New business owners. If you're brand new, I'm going to show you how you can leapfrog to the top of your field with the book. For seasoned business owners, I'm going to share with you how to transform your business and change the way that you attract clients forever. And for solo and small business professionals, this is really for you. It helps you scale your business. You could focus on your work and your clients and let your book do the work for you. I have a lot to share. I'm going to go pretty quickly, but don't worry, I'll be around to answer all the questions that you got. So part 1, 6 pillars of a multi-million-dollar business built around the book. Part 2, I'm going to share with you how to author a high-impact book in 60 to 90 days without using AI. Now, I want you to understand my stance with AI. I'm okay with it, but there's going to be a reason why. I need your personality in this book, and I'll share that with you. Part 3, I'm going to show you how I call stacking the cool, how to stack the cool, and how to profit with your book, even if you don't sell a single copy. So let's get started. This is what I want you to understand right from the beginning. We do not write a book to sell a book. Why do you want a $20 sale or $17 or whatever it is? You want to write a book that sells you. If you have a high ticket business, a service, a product, you want to gain clients, don't worry about the $7 or $20. Get that high ticket client. Did I explain that well? I want you to think about that. So, why listen to me? Really quick so you can understand the context of where I come from, and so you can see I'm not an internet cowboy. I've been doing this for a long time. I already dated myself earlier, didn't I? So, 25 years in experiential marketing. So I've seen the branding side, working with brands like Nintendo and Under Armour, just to name a few. Also, if you know this guy, he's been my main mentor in direct response marketing. I ran his mastermind group in Chicago for 8 years, and I wrote for the No BS marketing letter for 3 years, reaching thousands of business owners. Multiple best-selling author. You've seen my 2 books. I host a radio show in Chicago on AM 560. I've got to meet a lot of great celebrities in my journey as marketing and branding. And I speak all over because, as you know, you're going to learn speaking is the best way to promote your book. And your book's the best way to get more speaking. It's like a flywheel, you see? So, I also run Imperial Kickboxing. I grew this from like nothing to thousands of fans that come to see our live events. Random weird facts about me. I'm launching a new program with Ricardo Lamas from the UFC fighter. In fact, I train at his gym in Naperville, Illinois, because I'm from Chicago. So, no more random facts. I worked for the late, great Walter Payton in his nightclubs back in Chicagoland. I'm famous for house music. That's kind of weird, right? This is where I kind of first learned authority. So if you ever Google my name, you're going to see like House Music Chicago, kind of weird, House Nation Records. And I coach fighters at the UFC gym. My favorite TV show is infomercials. That's enough about me. And who has a veggie bullet? Am I the only one? Yeah, I love that thing. All right. So my company's helped over 800 folks, professionals, busy professionals, become published authors. And what Dan always says, and I learned it from him first, if you're not manufacturing celebrity or creating celebrity for yourself, you're totally asleep at the wheel. So I've done everything from using authority, like in house music, we created dance records, vinyl records, in order to elevate my status among all the other DJs in Chicagoland, because they're playing my music, which is demonstration. A book is nothing more than the equivalent in the business world of a dance record. You're demonstrating your knowledge and ability through your book. I've used it to sell iguanas. That's a weird story in my book. I won't take the time here, but you could read it in the book. Now, part 1, 6 pillars of an 8-figure business built around the book. Now, I want you to know, you don't have to use all 6 pillars. I'm just showing you what Dan Kennedy did to build his business, and he grew it to an exit for 8 figures. And it was all started with a book. You could use all of the pillars or just a few. It's totally up to you. And not all of them are going to be applicable to every business, but they can be. You just have to really think of how to do that. So, first of all, I want to ask you, why do you guys think that a book is the #1 business building and branding tool you can have? Anybody know? Just shout it out. What reasons? Why? Expert status. Yes? Experience. Demonstrating expertise. Story. Personal story. That's right. People want to build know, like, and trust with you, which I actually call respect. Respect. Education-based marketing. Respect, value, and trust is what I say you build with books. References. You put your case studies of your clients in there. You're planting seeds. Absolutely. Here's the top 5 reasons that I'm going to share with you, and you guys have nailed it. Number 1, top dog status. This gives you the author status, and it's the biggest differentiator of expert status and authority, so you can leapfrog above everybody else, because you literally wrote the book on the topic. Advantage 2, commanding higher fees. When you already expect, if you're going to be working with an expert and the author of somebody that wrote the book, you would already expect to pay a premium fee. Is that right? So, number 3, boost high demand from media. When you have a book, how I'm demonstrating, I practice what I preach. I got this keynote by simply mailing my book with the right cover letter to the right producers. So, closing more deals faster. The 7-11-4 principle is what books help with. I'll share that with you. Ultimate scalability. Now, you're able to deliver your perfect pitch every single time in your book. It never sleeps. Perfect salesman. As I mentioned, the Google 7-11-4 principle. For those that aren't familiar with it, Google did a study of human behavior. What makes people buy from you in the customer life cycle or the customer journey? At the end of the day, folks want to spend an average of 7 hours with you somehow, getting to know you within 7 hours. 11 means in 11 different touch points. So if they're immersed with you in 7 hours, 11 different touch points could be from a blog, from videos, from your website, from seeing you speaking live, from newsletters. And the number 4 different platforms. So that's what Google has determined in their study, builds trust. Now, if you get someone to immerse themselves in your work through your book, how many hours is that going to cover? Your readers become your best clients whatsoever when they immerse themselves in your book. Now, Dan Kennedy's company, as I mentioned, sold for 8 figures, and I'm going to show you the 6 pillars. You want to see them? Here we go. He started with a book. A book. This is how he started growing his audience, and I'm doing the same thing in my career. Then he built another book he wrote and published. Then he created a whole No BS series of books, and that's the brand that he's most known for, is the No BS business series of books. Now, he grew GKIC to 11,000 subscribers, and we'll go over the numbers shortly because it's a paid newsletter subscription. But how did he do it? I'll share that with you. He put offers within the book, in the pages of his book, free marketing consultation, $100 critique, most incredible free gift ever. This is how he got the contact information, because not everywhere that sells the book, they don't share the buyer list with you, so you get people to, that's how I met Dan. I claimed those critique certificates to get him to critique my ads for him. That's just one example of an offer within a book. Offers from the front of the stage, whether it's a paid offer or a complimentary or free offer. That's how he did it. And Dan's books reached millions of people, and he grew his mailing list to hundreds of thousands, and his paid membership grew to 11,000 paid subscribers. The minimum subscription was $59 a month, so it was like $60 a month. And 1,500 people on his list would attend his super conferences every single year. So pillar number 1 is your core offer. What is it that you offer in your business? You offer services, high ticket services? Do you start with a low ticket service? That's how you make your money there. Let's do some math real quick. Is your core offer between $2,000 and $20,000? What's the value of your client or customer? Look at the small numbers you need to hit these numbers. If you just want to do 6 figures, you only need 50 sales to 5 sales. Now, if you're really ambitious, and I give you permission, you can do $1 million in this pillar by just doing 500 sales of the low ticket and then 50 sales. That's all you need. Attainable. Next pillar, pillar 2, courses and trainings. The things that you do. Even if you provide a service, if you're a CPA, accountant, and attorney, you certainly could make a course on educating people on how to do something themselves, right? You've seen FSBO books, how to for sale by owner, how to sell your own book. You guys know what that really does? Nobody reads the book and says, I ain't doing this. I'm hiring the guy that wrote the book to sell my house. That's what that's for. Courses and training. Look at the numbers here. The average high ticket for a course now, whether it's online or in a box, $29.97 to $49.97. Look at the numbers. You only need 34 to 21 sales for 6 figures. 334 or 201 sales to make $1 million. Attainable, small numbers. Pillar number 3, membership community. I told you Dan did this with a newsletter. This could be a membership portal. This could be a group. It's also it's also supported by Facebook groups as an example. Now, look at his membership. 11,000 plus subscribers at an average of about $59 per subscriber. $660K a month is his value of his customer base. Now, he also has levels that were $300 for a diamond membership, and that's just gravy. So newsletter memberships, $40 to $97. When I started my first membership community newsletter, it was for DJ entertainers because I came from the DJ entertainer world, live events. My membership was only $40 a month. But look at the numbers. You only needed 209 subs at $40 a month or 86 subs to do 6 figures in that pillar. Next, pillar 4, group coaching. Group coaching, you ascend people into your higher ticket services and offers, mid-level access to you. That means they don't have direct access to you. You do group calls, maybe 1 call a month, and everybody gets to come on. You teach something, you answer questions, you engage in your community. Groups of up to 100 in these groups. Dan has a group called Peak Performers. It was limited to 100 members, and they paid $10,000 a year. Group coaching, look at those numbers. Average $5K value per year to $15K. You only need 20 or 7 subscribers to do 6 figures in that pillar. 200 or 67 subscribers to do $1 million. Now, pillar 5, your highest level mastermind group. This could be your private client group. These have high access to you. So of course, the greater the access to you, the higher the fee should be. And the investment, you limit these to only 10 to 15 so everybody gets really personal attention at this level. Dan's Platinum Mastermind, these numbers are small now. I have colleagues that are doing masterminds for $35,000 a year. I've even seen $100,000 masterminds per year. Just depends on the level of the business owner that's involved in the groups. High ticket mastermind, average $25,000 to $100,000 a year. What do you need? 4 members at $25K for $100,000 or 10 at $100K. Now, pillar 6, in-person events. Of course, the most expensive thing to do, the most difficult thing to do, but there's big money in this. Periodic and annual community nurturing. You get your subscribers together, your members together once a year to get together and network and learn new things and concepts. It's really about stick. In-person events. If this is just for the ticket price, average ticket price $400 to $1,500. There's your numbers if you want to make 6 or 7 figures in this pillar. So everything starts with the book. Can you see that? That's how you build your community. And that's how you build your engagement and get your members to know, like, and trust, or respect, value, and trust you to get started. Part 2, be mindful of the clock. I know we don't have a lot of time. How to author a high-impact book. You want to know how to get a perfect client-attracting book? That's what I promise. I'm going to show you how to outline that right here. Magnetic book titles, most important parts. And I'm going to show you some do's and don'ts there. This is an age-old example. Nora Hayden wrote a book called Astrological Love. It did nothing. It flopped because if you're not familiar, nobody knows what astrological love means, right? You want to make sure your titles are clear. So I'm always talking about clarity over cleverness of titles. I'll show you what they did to help this book out. They rebranded it and it became a New York Times bestseller. Here it is. So you don't want to do a clever title. Here's the new title. How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More. Pretty clear, right? Pretty clear. So here, I'm going to show you how to get the hook for your book. I call it my DNA formula. DNA, and somewhere in the intersection of those areas is the idea for your hook. The D stands for distinctions. I want you to make a list. Everything that, all of your distinctions. What are your degrees? What are your certifications? What are you certified in? What are you great at? What are you great at doing? And how do you serve your clients? All your distinctions. Now, novel. Make another list next to it. What's novel about what you do versus all your competition? That's the whole point here. You do something different. Even if you have the same certification as thousands of other people in your field, you have a different perspective. You're a unique person. You do things differently. If you're an exit planning advisor, maybe you're a CPA, so you come at it from a CPA's angle. So what is novel and what's different about how you serve your clients versus everybody else? You can find something, I promise you, that makes you novel. Now, the A stands for appealing. Now, to that audience, your perfect client, what is the most appealing things to them? What do they really want? What are the problems that keep them up at night? That's the appealing part of it. Now, I'm going to give you an example. One of my clients, her company's called Journey Consulting. She didn't have a brand in the beginning. She said, I'm an exit planner. So she needed help with her branding. I asked her, so what do you do? How do you help your clients? I help them exit their business at the highest possible value. I said, what's your process? Well, I just do the exit planning process, she said, because she's a certified exit planning advisor. She's like, I do an exit planning process like everybody else. But then I asked her, well, you have to do it a little differently. She said, yeah, I'm a CPA, so I really start with the numbers, etc., and I do it this certain way. And I said, well, you have your own way now, so you can't say I just do the exit planning process. We gave her her own process, and I told her company's called Journey Consulting. I said, every time I asked her what she did for a client, she said, I increase their value, I increase their value, I do the value of this. I said, well, your process is now called the value journey. Journey Consulting married with the process of value. So now she's nationally known as the creator and the founder of the value journey process. Not only is she crushing it, when people type value journey in the book, in Google, what pops up? Her book, her name, she's the creator of. Now she has other exit planning advisors begging her to use her book and it's giving her another business opportunity where she can certify people in the value journey process. Did I explain that well? Yes. Come on, let me hear you. All right, the value journey. So this is personal branding at its best. That's why I wanted to share that with you. Now, the way to test, the best test for your title of your book, takes some work, but will it intro? If I was to introduce you on this stage and I was to say, Richard Acosta, I want to introduce him to the stage. Please welcome Richard. He's the author of. What's the title? Does it explain who he is, what he's about, and who he serves? And then I say, please welcome Richard Acosta, everybody. If it really, really brands you, that should be the title of your book. Now, about titles and subtitles. I prefer short 1 to 3 word titles because they're personal brands. What do you want to be known for? Everyone knows me for the Books Grow Business. He's the Books Grow Business guy. He's also the Action Brand Marketing guy. So 2, 3 words. However, the subtitle now clearly expresses the value of why the person should read the book. I'm going to give you a couple of examples here from our clients. A lot of my clients will come to me with ideas for titles that are, they don't know better yet, so I'm teaching them. I coach them on this. They might be off, or the title's very utilitarian. A lot of my clients, Nick Ferris, he's a business broker. He sells manufacturing businesses. He came to me with the subtitle, How to Unlock the True Value of Your Manufacturing Business Before Selling. Kind of plain, yeah? That was going to be his title. I said, oh man, no. How am I going to introduce you on stage? Please welcome Nick Ferris. He's the author of How to Unlock the True Value of Your Manufacturing Business Before Selling. No, you're American-made millions. You got it? So that's how he becomes known. That's his personal brand. Now, I used his title as the subtitle to clarify who he serves. How to unlock the true value of your manufacturing business before selling. Is this helpful? Now, boots, suits, and startups. Serviceman, building a business while in uniform. Bankruptcy magic. Love that. Because it's very contrarian. What's the magic in bankruptcy? The life-changing power of debt relief with dignity. Hope that helps. Key number 2, memorializing your magic and branding yourself and your system. Example, action and act now. In action brand marketing, I created the meaning of that. The acronym means acquiring clients through irresistible offers now. That's how I teach it. And the brand, by the way, is broad recognition of affinity and novel distinction. I go on to teach direct response in my book using the Act Now formula. Act now. Affinity, who's it for? C for channel. What channels are you going to reach people on? T, the transaction. Am I exchanging a gift for your email address? NOW, nurture, offers, and then wow your customer. I teach that in the book. Now, key number 3, outline magic. I'm going to have to hustle. So, key number 3, when you outline your book, my favorite way to do this is in 3 parts. 3 parts. Easiest for the brain to absorb. 3-part formula, like this, before, during, and after. These are the 3 parts of your book. If you're in fitness, it could be diet, exercise, lifestyle, product, process, people. Did I explain that okay? Those are the 3 parts of your book. Now, of course, there's more ways than one to be right. This is just one of my favorite ways. There's the example, exercise, strength, cardio, equipment, lifestyle, rest, work, travel. Those are the parts of the book. Now, within each of the parts of the book, you come up with the 3 chapters within there. You got a perfect 9-chapter book. 3 chapters per topic on the 3 parts. Now, key number 4, talk your book. Did you know that you only need to talk for 30 minutes per chapter? And that'll produce you about a 2,500 word chapter. 10 chapters of that's a 25,000 word book. That's about 100 to 150 pages right there. Talk your book and record it and work with somebody that can turn that into the manuscript. So there's the example. When you know the topic, you know the top 3 to 5 things you want to share in that chapter or the questions you want to answer in that chapter. Now, key number 5, professionally publish. You want this thing to look top-notch. Get a designer, get your cover right, and then take it into the interior as well. Design it throughout with the interior. Now, real quick, I got 5 minutes. Am I doing okay? Part 3, stacking the cool. This is what I mean by that. Profiting with your book even if you don't sell a single copy. Part 1, I'm going to give you a case study. Just did this in the last 2 months. I cold emailed a list of 600 SBDCs. They're the small business development groups all around the country, offering my free book, Action Brand Marketing. Now, exactly 40 responded and said, I'd love to get a copy of your book. So the book only cost me to print $3.42. So with a little bit of shipping, mailed it with a one-page letter inviting them to do a workshop with me. Here's the results. So far, they're still coming in. 4 workshops I booked for over 100 people each workshop. One of the directors in Washington, D.C. also has a Sirius XM radio show called The Small Business Report. He's also on his name's Carl Brown. You're going to recognize him because he's in a lot of the History Channel and the Food Network, like the food that built America. You'll see him commenting on it. So he invited me to do his show. So this is where you stack the cool. Once you do a show, once I do this talk, I'm going to start including this video in future mailings that I send to my list. So can you see speaking and repurposing, like I'm doing here, speaking and repurposing your talks, podcasts. I was honored to be interviewed by David Shands in Chicago for his show. Podcast prospecting. You turn your book into your podcast, and now you can invite guests onto your show and on your platform. And of course, get more keynotes. So can you see how having a book can make you irresistible to all those folks? Just having the book. Now, 7 quick tactics when you have a book. Put it in your signature line. Everybody's going to get it. It's going to say, get your book on Amazon, and the link to your Amazon book. Without telling anybody you're an author, you told everybody you're an author, yeah? So, number 2, lead magnet on your websites. I'm sure you've all purchased like maybe a free plus shipping offer for a book. That's how you do that. Getting media attention. Tells the media who you are, what you're about. Send the book out to all your local media. Ultimate referral tool. Send your book out to your past clients with an extra copy saying, hey, really appreciate it. I sent some extra copies in here. Let me know if you need more for a colleague or a friend that could use my help. Trojan horse. If you want to speak places where you normally wouldn't be invited because maybe you're competition, you do a subject matter title book, and all you're doing is saying, I'm not here to sell anything. I'm just promoting my book. It's very non-threatening way to get on stages like that. Getting cooperation. Here's another trick that I have in my book, a really ethical tactic. You want cooperation from referral partners, you mention them in your book. Do a guest interview. Let them do a blurb in your book and give them credit. Create perpetual monthly events. A lot of my financial advisor clients do lunch and learns and dinner seminars where they give away the book, and they use that as instead of doing, hey, another dinner seminar, you say it's an evening with the author. Got it? Evening with the author. So to recap, I shared with you the 6 pillars of a multi-million-dollar business built around a book, how to author a high-impact book in 60 to 90 days, and how to stack the cool. As I mentioned, my booth is straight in the back here. We've helped over 800 professionals, busy professionals, get published even if they didn't want to write a single word. So if you want a free book-storming session with me, we'll hop on Zoom, and I'll learn more about your work. That way I can recommend a book appeal and a hook for you and help you plan out the perfect book. No obligations, and it's a complimentary session to help you out with your titles. Thank you very much, Miami. It was great to be here.